They say you are what you eat. Well, if that's true and you love eating any of this deadly stuff, then I'm not sure I'd like to be your friend. Here are 10 of the most dangerous food that you're gonna want to steer clear of unless you've got a death wish or something. First item on our menu, wild mushrooms at number 10. In case you've ever seen a single movie or show where someone eats a wild mushroom then dies instantly, we're here to remind you that not all mushrooms are created equal. Cremini, button, and shiitake might be the perfect pizza and pasta toppers, but get the wrong mushroom and you're gonna wish you've got your last will and testament sorted out. Some species contain poisons that can cause vomiting and liver, kidney, or heart damage. The most lethal species is aptly called the death cap. According to the Western Pennsylvania Mushroom Club, there are about 100 potentially lethal species out of the 10,000 species in North America. Are you willing to take that chance? Moving on to number 9, Physique. If you ever decide to go on a trip to Egypt during the springtime, just a quick word of warning, stay away from Physique. This fermented fish delicacy is just as putrid as it is ancient. The salty, smelly dish dates back thousands of years, when the Egyptians saw the trails of rotting fish the receding Nile River left behind and thought, what a waste. We're gonna eat that. Though Physique has now turned into a traditional celebratory dish, the country's Ministry of Health cautions that, if not prepared right, the spoiled fish can lead to botulism poisoning. This means that you can experience paralysis that starts in the face and continues through the body. And if the paralysis reaches your lungs, you better start saying your prayers. The ironic thing is, many of them don't really like it, but they eat it anyway. And if you think that stinks, just wait till you get a whiff of this next one. At number 8, Halkert. When they learned about the Egyptians fermenting rotten mullet, the Greenlanders were like, Halkert is a traditional Icelandic dish that involves fermenting Greenland shark. Be warned, first-timers are often advised to pinch their nose because the awful taste is nothing compared to the strong smell. Anthony Bourdain once said that it was the single worst, most disgusting, and terrible tasting thing. And that's not the only reason to be turned off. Because of the high levels of unfiltered waste and toxins in Greenland shark skin and flesh, Halkert can cause intestinal problems, convulsions, neurological effects, and death if not prepared right or consumed in large quantities. Don't stop pinching your nose just yet, because we're turning up the stinkometer at number 7, Kouzu marzu. We hope you're not eating right now because this will thoroughly gross you out. Kouzu marzu is a traditional Sardinian cheese that is so rotten, disgusting, and dangerous that the US government decided to ban it. The cheese is left uncovered, inviting cheese flies to lay their eggs. The maggots that hatch from these will then do their job of fermenting the cheese by eating through it and then decomposing it. And hold on to your napkins, cause that's not the worst part. If you eat this cheese, there's a danger of you ingesting some larvae left behind. These larvae can survive being swallowed and can bore holes through your intestinal lining. Hard pass. If that sounded horrifying to you, just wait till you hear about what could happen to you if you eat monkey brain at number 6. The thought of eating monkey brain sounds unappetizing for most, but in some parts of Nigeria and Cameroon, new tribal chiefs would consume the brain of a gorilla, while another senior member feasts on the heart, a practice that has quickly deprecated since the beginning of the 21st century. And while they have moved on from this tradition, certain parts of China and Vietnam continue to serve monkey brain, which is often eaten raw and is said to have a mild taste similar to tofu. Apart from the practice being gross and cruel, this is highly discouraged and is even considered illegal by the Chinese government because of the dangers it poses. Eating monkey brain can give you monkey brain in the form of transmissible degenerative disorder. This disease, called Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, leads to dementia, hallucinations, involuntary movements, and more frightening symptoms as the brain rapidly turns to mush, eventually leading to death. Sounds like something straight out of a horror flick. Now, I don't know about you, but I've had quite enough of the gross stuff. Let's move on to other food items that you'd think were pretty normal but are actually quite fatal. At number 5, elderberries. Elderberries are commonly used in a lot of things: jams, preserves, syrups, teas, wines, and even food supplements. And that's okay. because as long as they are fully ripe and cooked properly, you shouldn't worry about a thing. In fact, these violet orbs are often bounced about as an alternative cure for colds and flu or to treat skin wounds. But just a cup of unripe or incorrectly prepared elderberry drink and you may experience nausea, vomiting, and severe diarrhea. Take up to 5 glasses of the thing and you run the risk of having seizures, falling into coma, or death. Next up at number 4, hot dogs. Nope, I did not misspeak. Believe it or not, hot dogs can be deadly. And we're not even talking about the fact that it's processed or the suspicious ingredients in most store-bought hot dogs. We're talking about the fact that hot dogs are the leading cause of food-related asphyxiations among children. So you better watch your little ones as they scarf them down. According to a study by Johns Hopkins Medicine and the American Academy of Pediatrics, this staple food is responsible for about 17% of choking cases. Because of this, the Academy recommended that hot dogs come with a warning label and that perhaps it's time to think about redesigning hot dogs to avoid choking hazards. How do you redesign a hot dog? The number 3 spot goes to Jamaica's national fruit, Aqui Fruit. We know what you're thinking. Why would any country make a potentially fatal fruit their national fruit? The thing is, the Aqui fruit, which is native to tropical West Africa, actually has a unique and pleasant taste. Mild, savory, and creamy. Similar to cream cheese but with a nutty undertone. Ackee and saltfish is considered by many to be Jamaica's unofficial national dish, and a trip to the country is often not complete without giving it a try. But don't attempt to eat ackee if you're not too familiar with the fruit. Unripe ackee contains a poison which can lead to vomiting, coma, or death. The black seeds and the pink flesh are completely poisonous, so you must discard them. The cream-colored pulp around the seeds, on the other hand, is safe to eat, but only if the fruit has been allowed to yawn or open naturally on the tree. Taking the number 2 spot is a dish that's gonna fight back, Sannakji. Sannakji is a Korean dish that involves cutting up live baby octopus tentacles into pieces, seasoning them a bit, and then serving them immediately. Daredevils like to eat the tentacles while they're still writhing, which is very dangerous. Octopus limbs contain neurons, so even after they have been detached from the body, they'll continue moving and their suction cups maintain their gripping power. So if you're not careful, the suckers can stick to the roof of your mouth while you're chewing or latch onto your throat on their way down. According to Food and Wine, no less than 6 people die from attempting to eat Sannakji every year. Another seafood dives to the number 1 spot, Fugu. Fugu, which is a type of pufferfish, is one of the most poisonous vertebrates in the world, second only to the golden poison frog. Now, why the Japanese decided to challenge their luck with this deadly balloon-shaped fish, we don't know. Fugu is banned in the US, but if you're up for a culinary adventure, you can go to Japan where the infamous dish is sold in high-end restaurants for hundreds of dollars. Of course, Japanese chefs must first undergo years of rigorous training before they can obtain a license to cook fugu, and understandably so. Fugu contains tetrodotoxin, which is 1,200 times deadlier than cyanide. One dose smaller than the head of a pin can kill up to 30 people. That sure makes eating every other item on this list look like a walk in the park. According to the Tokyo Bureau of Social Welfare and Public Health, there have been 20 to 44 incidents of fugu poisoning per year from 1996 to 2006, with an average fatality rate at 6.8%. It kinda makes you wonder, how many people do you think died before they finally discovered how to eat this poisonous food safely? Of these 10 items, which one would you never even dare touch? Tell us in the comments and let us know what other food-related videos you'd love for us to talk about. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and turn the notifications on to get front row seats to watch Canon's mind-blowing videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.